Netflix tossed a whole bunch of coins to The Witcher Season 4, 25 million an episode, reportedly. We're going to have to talk about it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're a fan of The Witcher, hit that subscribe button. I talk about it and discuss it with you all the time right here on the channel. And I want to know your thoughts of the 4th season of Netflix's The Witcher. Let me know what you thought. And are you going to watch? And are you looking forward to Season 5, the final season of Netflix's The Witcher, the roller coaster that is The Witcher on Netflix, which started high and honestly, it's just fizzling away. Like it's almost forgotten. I talked to a bunch of friends who liked the first season, even the second season of The Witcher. They didn't even know this was out. They're like, what's going on? But at the forefront of everybody's mind is obviously going to be Liam Hemsworth as Geralt, right? Everyone wanted to know, what is he like? What was he going to be like? And I'll give you my thoughts on Liam Hemsworth Geralt. Now, I've got to be honest with you. At first, I was like, okay, this is whatever. And as the series went on, I kind of started to appreciate it and enjoy his performance a little bit more and more and more throughout. I will say this, though. I didn't think he was bad. I thought he was okay. I think he's fine. I think he's a fine replacement as Geralt for Henry Cavill. I think he's fine. And all the politics about why Henry Cavill left and all that, you can't rest that on Liam Hemsworth's shoulders, right? He is just an actor doing a job, and he came in to do a job. He has nothing to do with any of that. He's doing his job. And for the most part, I thought he did it pretty well. Like, he was okay. The one thing I did notice, though, was he doesn't have the presence of Henry Cavill. Like, he just doesn't have, I don't know what is, like, the screen presence. It's not like he's not the focal point. I found his Geralt almost kind of drifting to the sidelines of a shot. Like, even if there was a whole shot of a group of people, he never seemed to grab me in any sort of way. Like, the screen presence just wasn't there. Liam Hemsworth versus the Henry Cavill, he just didn't demand the screen, demand the attention of the viewer. And that's not something, I think that's just an aura. Like, that's just something you're born with. And unfortunately, that was the one thing I noticed throughout. But his performance as Geralt, at first I was like, okay. I was glad, his voice from the trailers didn't sound like he was trying to do an impression of Henry Cavill's voice, which I appreciate. And he's a little bit more gruffier in the series, and I liked it. I thought he did fine. Like, again, I think he was okay. I don't think he was a make or break. I honestly think he came in, he did his job, he did it well, and that was it. He wasn't better than Henry Cavill, but he wasn't significantly worse either. I don't think he ruined this season. If you didn't like this season, if you didn't like it because of him, it's probably just because you're loyal to Henry Cavill or whatever, like, not because of his actual performance. I think, like, he was fine. He's not going to win an Emmy. It's not going to be like that. It was fine. That's how I felt, though. I just felt he was fine. But one thing I got to bring up before I get right into the review is they totally did the Peacemaker DCU, formerly in the DCU. They redid the first 3 seasons with Liam Hemsworth as Geralt in it. I was actually kind of laughing. I thought it was clever. I thought it was kind of clever that they did it. They were like, they had Nimue tell the story. She's like, you're telling it wrong, and retells the story, but with Liam Hemsworth in, the big scenes that we had Henry Cavill in is now Liam Hemsworth. I thought that was kind of clever, to be honest. It was totally Peacemaker after previously on the DCU, where they changed the old Justice League to the Justice Gang. It was totally that. But I thought it was fun. I thought it was kind of clever. It was neat. It was not necessary in any way. I think they could have just, for me anyway, I could have had Liam Hemsworth in as Geralt and pretend nothing happened. But they did this. I thought it was clever, and I moved on. Let's get right into the review for the full season of The Witcher Season 4. And this season finally does what the show's been dancing around for years. It puts everything on the table. If the first 3 seasons were about surviving destiny, this one is about confronting it head on. And at the center of it all, no more dodging, no more metaphors, it's Ciri. She's not just a lost princess anymore. She's the axis this entire world spins on. The wars, the politics, the monsters, even the mages, they all bend toward her. From the first episode, Season 4 makes that clear. The camera doesn't linger on chaos for atmosphere anymore. It lingers on consequence. Every empire recalibrates because of one girl. Every mage's loyalty is tested because of what she could become. Every monster's hunt feels personal now. The world's starting to realize what Geralt and Yennefer already knew. Ciri isn't just important, she's inevitable. And the show finally gives her story shape. Through Istrid's research and the return of the monoliths, it becomes obvious that her elder blood isn't just powerful, it's fundamental. Like she's attuned to the pulse of the world itself. She's connected to the fabric of time and space. And the show doesn't treat that as abstract magic anymore. It treats it as the very thing that makes the continent tick. Control that connection, and you control everything: movement, war, communication, even reality itself. And that's why everyone wants her. Not because she's royal, because she's a door that leads to whatever future you believe in. What I really liked was how this show ties that mythology to the real political desperation. The elves see Ciri as the last piece of broken promise, a link to their lost home. Nilfgaard sees her as a prophecy incarnate. To Emperor Emir, she isn't just a symbol. She's the key that could fulfill a destiny that's haunted his empire for generations. That's why every imposter plan fails. It has to be her, the bloodline, the real thing. And then there's Vilgefortz. His motivations this season finally feel tangible, horrifying but clear. He doesn't want to rule the continent, he wants to own how the world works. His experiments, his obsession with Ciri, his manipulation of portals, they're all about control. He's the kind of villain who doesn't just want to sit on the throne, he wants to decide where the throne exists. That's why the Monte Calvo scene hit so hard. The mages who spend most of the show playing politics finally have something worth uniting for. Stopping Vilgefortz isn't just about revenge, it's about protecting the idea that power should serve life, not cage it. Philippa, Francesca, Yennefer, they all come at it from different angles, but for once they're facing the same direction. Meanwhile, Ciri's personal arc runs parallel to all of us. Her time with the rats feels like a rebellion against prophecy, a rare breath of freedom. She's not trying to be the child of destiny, or the heir to Sintra, or the key to the spheres. She's just trying to live. But the tragedy is that freedom paints a bigger target on her back. Every choice she makes echoes louder. Every victory adds a new bounty. Bonhart's arrival seals that truth. There's no hiding anymore. And through all this chaos, Geralt's journey mirrors hers. His knighting is brutal and beautiful all at once, the culmination of a dream that suddenly feels like a trap. The title that once defined him now threatens to separate him from the only family he's ever chosen. That's what makes this season feel more human than any before. Every title, knight, sorceress, princess, costs something. Every label puts something away from who they really are. Season 4 finally answers a why her question from the very beginning. Remember Renfri's dying words: find the girl in the forest, she is your destiny. Back then, it sounded like a curse disguised as advice. Now, it feels like a map. Geralt wasn't being sent to protect a princess, he was being sent to protect the future itself. Destiny didn't choose him for a job, it chose him for a purpose. By the end, it's clear. Ciri isn't a side plot, she's the story. She's the reason this world exists in the shape it does. Politically, magically, mythically, she's the point where everything collides. Thrones, prophecies, and species, even spheres. And the season doesn't let us forget that. The wars keep raging, the portals reopen, Emir still plots, the bounty hunters keep circling, because that's what happens when one person becomes the world's last great possibility. Everyone wants a piece. And yet the show keeps giving Ciri the choice. She's allowed to stumble, to fight, to grow, to decide who she wants to be, even when the world won't stop deciding for her. That's what made this season kind of work for me. It's not about her being powerful, it's about her being free. So season 4 finally puts the pieces together. It's not perfect by any means, some pacing issues, a few awkward transitions, but the storytelling finally feels unified. It's myths, politics, faith, and fear all wrapped around one young woman trying to hold on to herself. And the ending, it's not closure, of course. Season 5 is set up to be the true convergence, the wild hunt, the full prophecy, the crossing of worlds. Everything is in motion. The show just spent a whole season showing us why Ciri matters. Next season, it's going to show us what that means. And if season 5 can fulfill that promise that they just made, maybe this won't end on a whimper for a lot of people, but maybe it will. I will be watching and discussing with you guys Witcher Season 5 until it wraps, and maybe even a new game, because I am looking forward to that, but we'll see. I don't really cover games here, but I do talk about this. It took me a while to watch. I had to watch my Blue Jays in the World Series, and I had my 3-year-old trick-or-treating on Halloween, so we were kind of taken away from watching The Witcher, but we got a hold of it, watched it, enjoyed it enough. It was fine. I really liked it. I mean, I like the show. That's the thing. Like, I enjoy the show. And so I'm going to keep watching it. There's something about it that just captivates me. And I mean, I do find myself groaning and moaning and stuff like that throughout. But you know, I enjoy it for the most part. Let me know your thoughts of Witcher Season 4 in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate your time. Hit the like button and subscribe. Until next time, maybe the master of your own universe.